All right, today we are going to learn what a string is in Python. What is a string? A string is basically a group of characters enclosed in quotation marks. For example, my string equals, of course give your variables meaningful names. My string equals, this is a string. So this is a string. This is a variable called my string, and it contains a string, which is a sentence in this case saying this is my string. It's enclosed in quotation marks. They can be double quotation marks like this, or single quotation marks like this. Okay, that is point number one. A string is enclosed inside quotation marks. It is any characters. There can be numbers inside here, there can be any other characters, but it's still a string. There can even be spaces, as you can see here. So point number one is enclosed in quotation marks. Point number two, as you can see on this editor, it is shown in a different color. This variable part here is shown in light blue, and this is shown in brownish or brown. Your editor might be showing it in different colors, but you'll notice that there's a different color. This symbol here, equals, is shown in white. So these colors tell you something. In this case, the string is brown, the variable is light blue, this symbol is, this operator or symbol is white. Okay? If I remove, before I go to there, before I say that, I can change my string to numbers or a calculation. 1 times 2, for example, or 1 times 20, not 1, let's say 12 times 3. It is still in brown because it is still a string, because it's still enclosed in quotation marks. If I remove this, you notice now the color changes. So point number one, a string is enclosed in quotation marks. Point number two, it will be shown in a particular color in your editor. And point number three, you cannot perform maths calculations on strings. So if I say here, print, and I copy this, if I do that and I run it, you notice that it just displays here 12 times 3, just the same way I had written it here. Whatever I write here and I print, it just shows whatever, the same thing, the content of the string just as it is. But if I was to remove this, let's go back to the original one, 12 times 3, and if I want to remove these quotation marks, it is no longer a string. Now if I print that, it shows me here 36. So point number one, a string is enclosed in quotation marks, whether single marks or single quotes or double quotes. Point number two is normally displayed in a different color. And point number three, you cannot perform mathematical operations on strings. See here, it just shows again 12 times 3 as a string. Those are the three things to remember about a string.